Hey there, happy Monday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So I'm very happy to have you here. Tonight we are continuing the ABC Stitch Along, working on the letter N. Newt for this one. This is one of my favorites. I'm excited to get going on this one. I'm hoping we can finish it quick. I'm hoping we can finish it by Thursday, and then Friday we can finish up some of these ones that we don't have done yet. So hopefully that'll work out. All right, you guys, let's get going. Okay, hello everyone. Let's go scoot you on over. Okay. So tonight we are starting the Newt. I'm going to get him out of his cage here, I guess. Let's get it ironed on, and I think we can start stitching him with the outline, I think is where I'm going to start here. So the cute little Newt. Got my little pattern here. I'm going to leave this nearby just so I can refer to the colors and stuff. There's the traceable pattern, and I'm going to do the iron me pattern. Then we got our stitches and stuff as well. So, all right, stick the pattern to the side. And all right, first thing we need to do with the iron me pattern is trim that text off so that doesn't transfer to our fabric. So there we are. Oh, cool. Oh, Robin, I love when you post stuff, post your work. I saw the roses. That turned out so good. The Bride of Frankenstein, from the Bride of Frankenstein pattern. Or the bouquet. Bride of Frankenstein's bouquet. That's what it's called. That turned out so pretty with the red and everything. I love that. Yeah, that's awesome when you post for sure. All right, you guys, this is in reverse right now. That's because we are going to be flipping it and then pressing it down here. And, and I'm going to put a little piece of, I'm going to put a paper towel on my mat there just to keep it from transferring to my mat. Oh, memory of your mom. Oh, these French knots are going to be the death of me. Oh, Kelly, so we should maybe do a, so these ones are actually satin stitch, and then these smaller ones are French knots. Maybe this week we do, before we start the French knots, maybe we do a, I'll do a little demo, and I'll do I do a demo called the 3 things you might be doing wrong with the French knot. So actually, if you describe your French knot to me, like what it's looking like when you're done, I bet you I can diagnose it if you're having trouble with it. But we'll do a little demo of it. Probably not today because I'm going to start with the outlines, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow. A little demo on what you might be doing wrong with the French knot. Okay, so I'm just preheating my fabric by pressing it. And I'm going to flip this Newt right side down. I'm just kind of centering it as best I can. And we're going to just stick the iron on top. It needs about 5 seconds or so. Ooh, a little bit more on there. And you can kind of peek on the side. Get this side. Oh yeah, it's looking good. I think we got it. There we go. Good. He is transferred. So I can use this a few more times, like about 5 times or so. Man, you know what? This one I might want to put on my jean coat. I do really like this one. I'm going to set that aside. I might, I just washed it, my little jean jacket shirt. That would be a cute one to have on there. I might put him on, iron him on too. It's not right and cute and the larger hoop involve. Oh, kind of makes the loot and the moth look cockeyed. Oh no! All right, so we'll go over the French knots. We'll do that tomorrow. So tomorrow for sure. Again, I start here at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. We will start out with a demo, like the 3 things you might be doing wrong for French knots. And if you don't want to wait wait that long, I've done a little demo. Like, I should have a video on YouTube that talks about it as well. I'll have to find a link for that. But I think a search. Did I do a shortened video of that? I can't remember for sure. If not, I'll have to do an edited down version of that demo. What size is that ring? So this is an 8-inch ring. So I think all of the patterns fit within about, I don't know, they're all about like 5 inches square. They're not all square, but like 5 to 6 inches big. But yeah, the hoop is an 8-inch hoop is what I'm using. Ooh, you're about to start your first needlepoint project this first Thursday. Ugh, that is super duper exciting. You'll have to let me know what the design is. All right, so here we are. Again, we are working on this little newt right here. So let's see. Let's pick our thread. So we've kind of been going, we haven't been like sticking to the original designs really throughout this process. I mean, we have in some cases, but I'm open to changing it up for sure. So I do kind of like the orange dude, but I don't know, we could do a different color. I am going on my little bobbins of color. Still, we have some scraps here. Ooh, and you guys, before I get too far, I wanted to show you what came in the mail today. I got some super fancy bobbins. They're from Adam Hart Cross Stitch, but check these out. They are the sparkliest, prettiest thread bobbins like ever. So she makes these. I already have one. I was testing one out here, and I have like a little string on the side here, and then one of my skeins of floss on. But they're so cute, and then they have these extra holes in them for like looping around like how I did here. I mean, I just kind of covered up those holes with my other thread, but like you can put, like, if you're working on a cross stitch, you could put all your different colors or some certain scraps, or like, this could be like full, like all 6 strands, and these are like your spare strands. Anyway, and then it actually comes with tags and this ring, so you can just grab the colors that you're working on for your project. I just stuck them all on here for now. But aren't they cute? Like, look at them, they're so shiny. I love all that sparkle in there. Anyway, I had to share that. Those are from, again, Adam Hart Cross Stitch, if anyone was wanting to check that out. But yeah, that came in the mail today. Pretty excited. Will I be selling them in the shop? I don't know. I'm going to have to contact her. I wanted to see what they looked like first, because I hadn't seen any in person. I just saw them on like TikTok. But I'm going to contact them and see if they wholesale. I don't know if they do wholesale for these, but I'd love to stock some of them because they're so cool. And they have all clear ones too. Like, you can buy, there's like a bulk one of like a pack of 50 of just clear, but I had to get some with some fancy shenanigans in. And then there's different styles and colors and that sort of thing too. I think it's one of those deals though, like, they make a bunch and then release them, and then they like all sell out right away. I think it's kind of one of those deals. So I don't know if they're doing, wholesale, because if they can sell out without doing wholesale right away, then I don't know. But I'm gonna contact them and see, because they're so pretty. Otherwise, for now, you can just go to, I think it's AdamHartCrossStitch.com. So like, here's the Instagram, if you guys can see that. And literally, I think it's just Adam Hart Cross Stitch, all one word, .com. Or any search of that will get you there. All right, so let's just kind of pick some colors. This is, I have like a lighter, kind of like a lighter color here than this orange here. That would be kind of cute too. And I'm also just looking like, how much do I have on these different bobbins and stuff yet? Because like some of these, like a lot of my oranges, like, I think the original orange is probably this one, but I don't really have that much left of that. I mean, I do, but I'm just trying to go through, like, what I have here first. So let's see what colors I have. I have a lot of purple. This brown, this teddy bear color I have a lot of yet. That could be like a cute outer color. Although purple actually would be, I think, really good as a Newt color. I'm kind of leaning towards this purple all of a sudden. That's super Newt color, isn't it? And then there's a lot of this pink. So, oh, and then gray. We do have a lot of these colors here. I'm just literally picking out like the ones that it looks like I have the most of right now. This gray too. And the fawn color. I don't think I want to use that, but let's just see. Out of the colors I have the most of, I mean, I kind of, like, let's make a purple Newt. I think that'd be great. All right, let's do that. Let's just call that as the outside outline color. Maybe bring some orange back in here, but I don't know. This kind of looks cute with it. We could do purple and pink. We could do pink for the little dots, the satin stitch dots. Although now this guy's calling to me. What about this yellow we have a lot of yet? You know, I don't know. Kind of like the brown. Although these are awfully sweet together. Maybe we do purple for the outline, pink for the dots, the big dots, and then we could do this like light gray for the French knots. That's kind of cute. And then maybe the dark gray or something for the eyes and mouth. I'm kind of feeling that. Like this vibe right here. That'd be kind of cute. Salamander-y, I think. The other thing we could do is like bring in a pop of color to contrast the purple. But I don't know. I'm kind of digging the pink. Kind of like it like a more analogous sort of color deal. So, all right, I'm going to just sit with this for a while. For sure, let's do the purple for the outline. So we can always change our mind after that. So, all right, and I don't know, for the end, we could do some bright color for that too. But I'm going to keep these guys nearby. Like, I'm going to keep them outside of my little strawberry for now, just to remember what colors we were talking about. And let's put, I keep forgetting, let's put the strawberry on this side so my scissors is right by me when I need to grab it. All right, let's take a look here. Hold on a sec. Okay, yeah, so let's grab, I like getting like about 24 inches or so. The Adam Heart person, I've heard this before, but like another suggestion for length of floss is to go like to your forearm. So you're just kind of measuring your arm. I think I'll go a few more, a little past that. About 24 inches is kind of my estimate here. And let's snip. All right, and then I'm going to just work with 3 strands here. So I'm going to pull them all out individually. So I just sort of bop the top there. And I kind of did it already, but like if I bop the top of the thread, it kind of separates the strands. Like I can see all the strands there. I'm going to just grab one. And I'm going to let the rest go through my fingers here. Zoop, and just pull right out. There's my first strand. And it just all sort of relaxes. I like running my finger through like that. Then we need to grab 2 more because I'm using 3 strands. Zoop. And you can just grab right away too. There we go. So 3 strands, and then this is also 3 strands that I can save for later. I'm pretty much doing 3 strands for all of these. The number of strands determines like the thickness of the stitch. And in this case, I'm going with, I like the thickness of the 3. All right. This nearby. Oh, let's put him on here again. Here's my little needle minder. Oops, come back here. There we are. Okay, getting started. Threading the needle, and I'm going to tie a little knot in the end here. And I'm not actually going to keep this knot, but I'm going to temporarily use it for my little away knot. Where should we start on him? Gotta get like these hands along the way too. I think maybe I'll just start at the bottom of his neck for, I don't know, no reason, really. It's got a point there, so maybe it's a good starting and stopping point. I don't know. But why not? Let's start there. Oh, I could actually start at one of these arms, get the arm, and then come back up. Let's do that. It really doesn't matter. Let's just start there. So, all right, I'm going to actually put my my needle in like about 4 inches or so away from my starting point. And then I'm going to come up. I'm going to be doing a back stitch here. Hey, Shani. Hey, Donna. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Oh, and Facebook, I cannot see comments again. I don't know what the deal is. It's like every other day I can see comments, but I can't see them today. All right, so this is going to be my starting point right here. But for the back stitch, I actually want to start like a stitch length away. And I go like, I don't know, maybe a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch or so. So there we are, and I'm going to make my first stitch. But first I want to go back to this knot that I tied here. What I'm doing, I mean, this is kind of a lot, but oh well. I'm reserving a little piece of floss that I can weave in later. So I can weave these. Oh, Shani, sorry, Shani. Thanks for letting me know. Let me know if I said that right, Shani. All right, but I'm reserving this for a little bit later. Because I like weaving in my ends to stitches that already exist versus tying a knot to start with, because I just don't like stitching with knots in the back. I think they cause trouble, like I keep catching my thread on it and stuff, so, all right. Okay, so Shani, sounds good, thank you. All right, so I'm going to do my first stitch. So I came up a stitch length away from the beginning, and I'm going to go backwards towards the starting point. And that is my first little back stitch there. Second back stitch, I'm going to come up a stitch length away from the last stitch. And then I'm going to go backwards again along my line to the exact hole that I started with. And I'm going to go down in that exact same hole. And that is my second stitch. And then we are going to just keep going one stitch down. And then one stitch back right in the exact same hole. And that is the back stitch. Okay, I'm really excited about this purple color. I think it fits for a newt. I think the orange actually fits too. Newts come in all different colors. I think the newts that I remember when we were little were like black with orange on them. Right. And we're just gonna go till we run out of this thread. There's kind of a lot of surface area. Like we got to get all these little toes and arms and whatever. So I don't expect this thread to last all that long. Because there are a lot of stitches happening here. I think we'll get pretty far on this outline tonight. I don't think we'll finish it. We'll definitely have to do it tomorrow, but maybe before we finish the outline, we'll do that French knot demo. And I can get all the French knots done then first, just boop, 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 all the way around. Typically, I like leaving the French knots to the end, just because same reason I don't like knots on the back of my embroidery. When they're on the front, sometimes I catch my thread, my thread that I'm using, for a different part of the project, like, outlines like what we're doing now. Sometimes I'll catch this thread on one of those knots, which is annoying. So for that reason, a lot of times if I can, I'll wait till the end for French knots. But for the sake of doing that demo, we can do that. We can do that tomorrow. I think that'll be fun. So ideally, I'd get my back stitch done at least to like here, where I have like a good spot to weave my stitches, or weave the ends of my thread into the back of the stitches. So we can do that with the French knots there. Ooh, I like this purple. I just like, seeing where we're at with all the floss too, because I started this project, the whole ABC Stitch Along, so we're halfway done. So we're going in order of the letters, and the halfway point was the letter M, which was last week. But I've been using just one pack of my my pack of 23 penguin and fish embroidery floss, and I think we're doing pretty dang good for being halfway through already. Like, we have all this left. I mean, I'm not using the exact same colors. Yep, it's N for Newt. Our little N for Newt there. But yeah, so we've been using different colors than the original designs, than the original patterns. But, you know, it's because we're playing around and, you know, trying different things out and stuff. But so it's kind of fun. Like, I'm looking at the ones like, oh, okay, this purple, we haven't used that much. Let's do something purple. And it just happened to work, I think, for this Newt. But yeah, I thought I'd have a lot less of that thread left at this point. So I'm feeling good about that. Maybe we'll get through this whole thing without excess floss. Although we did use some other scrap floss for the lion mane where we did the turkey work on that. I did use some of my scrap floss for that. But that was above and beyond, I think, the amount of floss it took for the mane. We did use up all my excess scraps. Like, you know, these scraps were a whole lot bigger. And, oh, good night, Donna. Those scraps were a whole lot more a couple weeks ago. We used them all up for the lion mane, so we're kind of starting fresh with our scraps. Those are all from the monkey scraps. My gosh, you guys, I'm almost already out of thread. I've only stitched this one little leg here. All right, jumping down to his belly. I'm definitely going to run out soon, but I think the plan is to kind of like go up to this foot, then go all the way around, and then step back up to go around the rest of it. I'm not 100% sold on this pink yet for filling in the big circles. Maybe we do the big circles with the gray and then like the pink for the French knots. That could be kind of fun. Kind of like the purple and the gray together. All right. Almost done here. So then I will weave in the end, and then I'll come back to this away knot. Like, so now you can kind of tell, like, this little thread here, I'm going to weave into the backs of the stitches. So that's what's going to, versus tying a knot, that's how I'm going to finish off where we started. But I had to, like, reserve that thread because I didn't have stitches at the time to weave in. I think I could probably get one more stitch out of this. Oh, maybe not. Let's just end that there. It's being a little funny. Oh, and of course I pulled one of the stitches out, and they're different lengths now, so I'm going to trim this. Or pulled one of the little threads out, not one of the stitches, so I'm just rethreading. I always accidentally slip my needle out at the end, or close to the end. On accident. So, all right, I'm going to weave into the backs of these stitches versus tying a knot. I'm just trying to grab as many threads as I can. And it's kind of like we're tying in like a long knot through the backs of these stitches. So I always go 3 times. The third time is kind of what locks it in. And there we go. So let's give it a snip. And the nice thing is I can snip them way down at the edge of the threads as well, which is awesome. All right, and now let's snip away our knot that we made earlier. Boop. And, oh, the pink would be pretty for the ends? Is that what you're saying, Alicia? I think I might have missed when you said that. Okay, let's thread. There we go. So now this is the thread that I basically reserved from the beginning. And I'm going to weave that into the side here as well. So I didn't have to start with a knot either, which is nice. So like I said, I don't like the knots because my thread catches on it. And I actually, one of the big reasons is I hate like the little, you know, that little fuzzle at the end of a knot. I hate when that pulls up onto the outside, the front side. That drives me crazy. So I like doing it this way because we kind of delete that all together. So, and then the back looks as nice as the front as well. Yeah, the bright pink, that would be cute for that. So, oh, that would be great. So why don't we do the bright pink for the small dots. So those are going to be our French knots. So they'll just be like a little flickers of that pink, and then we'll like accentuate it even more by having it for the ends. I think that'd be cool. I like that idea. Yeah, let's do that. And then the gray can be for the small dots. Or I mean, not the small dots, the big, the round circles. I think I like this light one. And then I think the dark gray we can use for the eyes and mouth. I'm not sold on the eyes and mouth yet. I think we can play around with that a little bit more. But I do like the purple, these three colors together. I think that'll be good. All right, so here's our other strand of 3 from earlier. And I can just thread that, and we'll get going on that. So I don't have to do the away knot this time because I already have stitches available to me to weave in. So I'm going to do this leg next. So I'm just going to weave in to the stitches that are close to the leg. 1, 2, and then the third time again locks it in. There we go. And now I can just start where I left off. And I think we'll do 1 stitch on his belly there yet. And then we will go along his little arm. And I suspect I'll be probably close to finished with the thread after this arm because I feel like I was almost done with this piece of floss after the first arm. Looks like he's just reaching out to give you a hug. Happy little Newt. I like this guy. I think I might, like I said earlier, I think I might actually put this one on that jean jacket shirt that I have. I think he's cute. I'll probably take the ends off, but just use the iron-on to stick it on the shirt. Have that be a project I stitch up at some point. There's a lot that I want to do to that jean jacket shirt. I caught it on something over the weekend and tore another like a hole in it, or like I made a small hole way bigger, so I need to repair that. I'm doing like a whole bunch of like on-purpose repairs. It came with a whole pile of holes and that stuff in, and so I'm like on purpose fixing like these fakely made holes, which is a little goofy, but I've been having a fun time with that shirt, so I think, I don't know, I think this guy belongs on there. Maybe like on the back shoulder or something. Like a little newt's climbing on my shoulder. I like that. Yep, I'm using, Alicia, I'm using 3 strands. If that's what you're asking. I'm using 3 strands because this is basically the different number of strands control the thickness. and I am using like 3 strands, which is half the amount of strands that come with it. So it's a little thinner line than using all 6 strands. But it's easier to stitch with than 6, and this is kind of what I'm doing for all the other animals as well. So 3 is my go-to for this project. Hey, Kathy, what purple is this? I am using... Oh, what is that purple called? I have it right here. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze. It's the wood violet. Okay, the wood violet color is what I'm using for this. So it originally was this orange, and I just thought, let's see what colors I have a lot of left, and I have a lot of this purple, and I'm like, purple seems like perfect for a newt color, so we went with the purple. And again, this is the wood violet purple. Which I think is a fitting name for a color for a newt. The wood violet. His little toes. I think John might have said that he saw a newt this weekend. He was helping his parents. They recently moved, and their house is on like a river lake sort of deal, but the pier that came with the house was totally rotted away and like floating in the water and just kind of like half sunk, and so they're trying to fix it, a bunch of people this weekend, and John had to get in the water and lift up a pier and try and fix it. I think they ended up scrapping the whole thing, though. It was just way too rotted and waterlogged. But he said he saw like some creepy, icky spiders, dock spiders, and I think he said he saw a newt, though, or a salamander or something, too. I checked on them every once in a while, but I did not help. Like, yeah, let them. There's enough people with enough ideas on how to do it down there. I'm not gonna get involved. Well, that's how that went. Enough cooks in the kitchen. All right. Got his little leg done. Let's see how far we can get with the rest of this purple before I have to get a new piece. But I think we'll get, I'm hoping to get like at least to here, because tomorrow we're going to do the French knots first. We'll do a little demo. Well, I'll do a little demo like on the side of like the 3 things you might be doing wrong with your French knot if you're having trouble with your French knots. And I'm hoping by the end of that little demo, you can see if you're doing any of those things. And I think I'm hoping that you'll be able to do them easy peasy after that demo especially if you're having trouble with French knots. So we'll do that demo first, and then we will make all those little French knots, and I just thought I heard thunder outside. I think it was someone's trailer. Anyway, we'll do that first, and then I'll keep going with my backstitch here tomorrow. All right. I'm going to have to cut more. This is already 2 pieces of thread, or both sides, like both of the... One cut of thread, but like the 3 strands of one, and then 3 strands of the other half of the one piece that I cut. So we're gonna have to cut another piece already, but feels like I'm getting a little further with him than the first leg. I do like the purple. Yep, to his chinny chin chin. Might get to his little eyeball too here. much further than I thought. Didn't quite tighten it up the hoop very well here. That's okay. Alright, I think maybe 2 more stitches. Ooh, I can hear crickets outside. That seems like something a newt would eat. Aubrey says, so cute the purple. Oh, Aries, sorry. I'm kind of reading. I'm reading comments from the side, and there's a little bit of a glare. Alright, I think that's, well, let's see. Yeah, this is going to be my last stitch. So there we are. Let's weave in that, and ooh, those look nice on the back. I'm a little close to the hoop, so that makes it a little difficult to weave in, but there we go. 1, 2, and turn it around for the 3rd. All right, there we are. Boop. Oh, let's grab the needle before I forget about it. All right, it's looking good so far. Let's get another chunk of purple here. So again, I do about 24 inches or so. I'm just sort of estimating here. All right, let's bop the top again just to separate the threads, and we'll pull them out one at a time again. So 1, I like running my finger through it. This only works if you do it one at a time. It'll be like a twisty, crazy knot if you do it more than once. Or do more than one. Alright, so we got 3 on this side for later, and let's get these 3 back together. Run my hand through there, and we're good to go. Okay. Let's weave in the ends right where we left off, and I'm going to keep going around his little face here. Three times, and we're back to where we left off. So I'm going around like these kind of tight little curves here around the top of his eye, like his eyebrow area bone or whatever. I'm doing smaller stitches just because I'm trying to get more of that curved shape. So the more like smaller stitches I can get around there, the more curved it'll look. Oh, why am I separating the threads? So the number of threads you use in embroidery determines how thick your line, like the line weight is. So embroidery floss comes typically with 6 strands. It's either called stranded embroidery floss or 6-strand embroidery floss. It's the same thing, but you'll see it. It's like, you know, if you go to Joann's, it's like all the DMC area. There's lots of it. So you want to find the stuff that is, you can definitely see it coming apart like this with 6 strands. I'll show you my little grid. This is my floss thickness guide. I like this. So I made this a while back, and I like it just to have on hand for just for my own seeing how many strands of thread that I want to use. But like here's like if we look at just like 1 through 6 here, these are some other different kinds of thread, but like 1 through 6 is 1 strand all the way up to 6 strands. So 6 strands is if I didn't take any strands out, if I didn't separate it at all. If I just stitched with how it came, I'll have these really thick lines, which is cute. It's totally fine. It does use, you know, twice as much floss, and it's a little harder to thread because it's a lot of floss to stick in the needle, and it's a little harder to go through some fabrics because, again, you're trying to pull a whole pile of floss. But, you know, it's it'll give you a nice thick line versus like one strand will give you like a really, really thin line. Here's another example. This floss, the word floss was stitched with all 6 strands and the thickness guide was stitched with just 1. So you can definitely see there's a difference, and so you can think about like, well, how would I use that in a design? Like little strands of grass might be super thin, but some big hefty flower petals or something you might want, thicker or something like that. So you can even change the number of threads within a piece. I'm using just the 3 strands, which is right here, because I kind of like that middle weight sort of line look, and I'm just staying consistent. I'm just using 3 strands all the way throughout, and that's kind of my go-to when I have like a little bit more of a delicate piece. And actually that's our embroidery of the month next month, or this month. This is what we're going to be stitching next week. This one was done with just 2 strands of thread, and the reason I did 2 instead of 3 is because then my lines are a little thinner. There's a lot of detail in this, and it's a little bit more delicate, so I wanted my line weight to be a little bit more delicate, and so I did 2 with that. Oh, you cross stitch, and a lot of those patterns call for 2. Yeah, oftentimes that's what I've seen too. Cross stitch. A lot of times you use 2, and a lot of times with cross stitch you're actually just pulling, how I was pulling the threads out, you're actually just pulling one really long piece out and then folding it in half, and then the folding it in half gives you like the 2, and then you can do like a special way of starting called the loop method and stuff, which is pretty slick. But anyway, so that's, cross stitch really often calls for 2. Embroidery is just super flexible. You can really play around with the number of strands. There's not like, I feel like, there's not those rules in cross stitch either, but it's kind of the standard, I think, with cross stitch to do too. Hey Patricia, these are our patterns. They're on penguinandfish.com. So there'll be a link in my profile to the project, or a link in the I just want to say the definition. What's the thing below a video? The description. That's the word. I knew I didn't have that right. Ooh, there we go. In the description, there's a link. But at Penguin and Fish, if you there's a big search bar at the top of the page. If you just type in Newt, you'll get to the pattern really quick. But yeah, so we have it as a paper pattern and also as a PDF download version. And the sales, while we work on this ABC Stitch Along, the sales of the patterns, a portion of it is going to go to, and has gone already, we're donating month by month, but it's going to the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery in town here. And we'll be working on this project for the year, and it'll be going into like next spring a little bit too. We're stitching we're spending 2 weeks a month on this project, and each of those 2 weeks we're stitching a different letter. So basically 2 letters a month. The first week of the month and the second week of the month is when we stitch them. So second week of the month, we're stitching the newt. Last week we stitched the monkey, and that was kind of our halfway point for the embroidery. Ooh, Amy says, I did the newt forward and reversed on a tea towel. Oh, that's cute. So like, ooh, so it probably looked like this, like the 2 of them like next to each other like this. That's really cute. I like that idea. Oh, that's fun. Oops, I'm getting super picky now. I can tell it's getting towards the end of the hour here because my perfectionism starts to kick in, which, puts me on edge a little bit. I try to just let it be 80% good. That's good enough for these things, but I don't know. If I'm going back because I missed one tiny little thread there, that means it's rising up to the top again. Well. think we're going to get a little farther down his back than I thought too, didn't I? That's exciting. But yeah, so just to reiterate, tomorrow we will be doing these French knots first, all these little like filled in dots, and I'll be doing a demo on how to do a French knot, and then the 3 things you might be doing wrong if you are having trouble with the French knot. So I bet you anything, if you're having trouble with the French knot, you're doing 1 to 3 of these 3 things. 1, 2, or maybe all of these 3 things that we'll go over tomorrow. So I'm hoping by tomorrow you'll be able to do the French knot super duper well. So I'll do that demo, and then we'll stitch all these French knots, and then I'll finish up, hopefully, the this outline here. Little purple outline. We're well on our way. Oh, thank you! Oh, La Smartly, or L.A. Smartly. Let me know what I can call you. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, so we'll be stitching that next week, the Embroidery of the Month. Ellie just ordered the Embroidery of the Month kit. So here's what the kit actually looks like in the packaging. Ooh, I'm kind of zoomed away. I don't know if you guys can see it all, but it has all the floss. The fabric is pre-printed, and then we have instructions and a needle and all that in there as well. And then the finished one is here. So this one we will be stitching with the 2 strands. Like how I was saying earlier, we're doing this with 3. So these lines are just a hair thicker than these. But this is our Embroidery of the Month. It's like this isometric kind of perspective garden. Because it is garden time, and I don't know. I think we might have some red tomatoes in there. We were gone all weekend, and I haven't checked the garden since I've been back. Since I've just been back today. I should have looked earlier today, but I didn't. It's just catching up today. But I think out the window I did see some red tomatoes in there, which would be awesome. And I think it's time. I think we planted some garlic too, and I think it might be time to pull that. It's looking like it's doing the thing where it, like the tops kind of die or whatever, and I think that's about time. Oh, Gretchen, which is Go Jones, says, I love the kits the most. Thanks so much. Oh, can't loop with the variegated floss, but everything else. Oh, that's true. So I saw a tip the other day, Alicia, too, if you're doing cross stitch with variegated floss. You probably know this already if you're doing variegated floss, but a lot of times in the cross stitch you like go one direction with all the diagonals going one way, and then you come back on the row going the other way. With variegated floss, you want to go 1 square at a time to keep that variegation by square too. And I'm like, oh, that's a good tip. I think actually the Adam Hart page, I think I learned that there. I can't remember where I learned that for sure, but I'm like, dang, that's a good tip. And it makes me want to stitch with variegated floss. That'd be so nice. Fun. Oh, John's calling it Newton the Newt. That's cute. Okay. We can call him Newton. I like it. This purple is going way farther than I thought. I think we'll even be able to start the other piece of floss for the purple. Dang. We're gonna... Well, I was gonna say that we're gonna get almost done with this outline, but I don't think we will. We'll get to maybe we'll get this leg in and maybe to about here, and then we'll have to get another piece after this piece, or after the next piece, to do the rest of that leg. Those legs have a lot of surface area to them, so they take some time. But I'm excited that our thread got this far at least, and we'll go a little bit further because then once we do these French knots, I'll have something hefty on the back to weave into the backs of the stitches when I'm done with the thread. All right, last stitch here, and now I'm gonna start on this leg. I think we got maybe 4 more stitches left in this little piece. Ooh, that might be a little much, maybe 3. you guys, it was a little cooler today, and I wore sort of shorts and a sweatshirt, and I'm thinking the sweatshirt was a bit much yet. I'm a little warm. I've been in the basement, though, a lot today, and it's nice down there, but it ain't fall yet. I shouldn't tempt it. I should keep the short sleeves on. Oh, yes, Amy. I know, I heard that a little bit ago, too, about Olivia Newton-John. I know, I'm going to have to watch Grease now again. It's a favorite. Alright, I only have a little bit of floss left here, so not enough to turn my thread around again. So I'm actually going to, or my needle around again for the third pass. So I'm actually going to go with the eye of the needle first to get that last pass in. And if you don't have enough floss, that's a way to do it. That was a mom trick. She taught me that. Alright, snip. Alright, let's get that last piece started. So we're almost out of time here, so we'll do this last thread for a few minutes, but we won't finish this whole thread, I don't think. Start in the same spot. Oops. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Oh yeah, Amy. I'm literally super slow. I first got that. Amy says we should name it Olivia because of Olivia Newton-John, but Olivia Newt in John. It's a Newt, so that makes sense. I like it. Oh, maybe that's what John meant too by saying Newton, the Newt. You guys, I'm so slow. Newton. I like that Olivia is like a subtle way of saying Newton. Newt. Alright, I think we'll get his little leg done here and probably call it there. Which actually means I think tomorrow I will just finish up this thread, which I don't think will take very long. So we'll finish up the thread while people are still popping in, and then we'll do the demo on the 3 things you might be doing wrong with the French knot, and how to do a French knot, basically. So we'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, since the thread's already on this needle, I'll just finish up this thread first. Yeah, maybe there's time yet tonight. We'll see. It's going pretty quick. We got some time left. Again, here I'm trying to do like really small stitches just to get the idea of this curve in. And the small stitches, you can have more of that curved effect going on. Versus like these long areas, I'll use bigger stitches sometimes. Stitches don't always have to be perfectly the same. I guess this is a fitting embroidery to have started today because of Olivia Newton-John. Ugh, that's sad. Alright, a few more stitches on the leg. You know what? I think I'm going to try and go till this thread is done. So we'll get a little bit down his tail here. one more stitch on the leg. And one more leg left. Got 3 legs done today. That's pretty good. Actually much farther on this than I thought I'd get today, so that's nice. So I'm just going to keep going until I'm done with this floss tonight. If we go a little over, that's fine too. Typically I'm here for about an hour, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Every once in a while we end up a little quick, and sometimes we go longer. Definitely going into chill mode. It's relaxing just to do the back stitch, I think. I love how it looks, and then it's just gonna chill. Follow the lines. Don't have to make too many decisions. Relaxing. And we are about done here. Good. Wasn't sure we'd use up this floss, but we're about there. So yeah, we'll make some pink French knots tomorrow. That'll be fun. Maybe 3 more stitches, 2 more, 1 more for sure. Yeah, I think this will be the last one. Okay, so we will weave in the end, but we got ourselves a purple little newt. Oh yeah, Robin, originally it was with like one of the oranges that we did the newt, but I'm using the, what is this one again? Oh, wood violet. I'm using that dark purple. I think I am going to use the gray. Oh, you mean the French knots? Oh, I kind of changed it in the middle. I wasn't sure I wanted the dots to be, or the satin stitch dots to be the pink, so and then someone mentioned that the pink would be good for the letter N's, and then I'm like, oh yeah, so we'll do the pink for the letter N's, and I think I'm going to do the French knots with the pink, and then I'm going to use that gray for the filled in dots, the satin stitch, so the big dots here will be the gray. I just thought, I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, the pink wasn't calling to me for those big dots, but I do like it as like the little pops of color for the French knots. So we'll do pink French knots, which are the small dots, and then these big circles, the filled in, that will fill in with satin stitches. I think I'll do the gray. A little bit more subdued, but then like with the pops of the pink, and then the letters can be the pink too. So I think that's what I'll be doing. At least of right now. We can change our mind tomorrow. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the face yet. I thought maybe the dark, but I think it might be fun if that's a pop of color too. Like, it might be fun to actually make the smile the pink, and then maybe we'll just do like black for the eyes. I don't know. That's too far. I haven't thought that far ahead. But all right, you guys, I think that's it for the evening. I think this is a good stopping point. Okay, so it is going well. Like I said, we got a little further than I thought on that outline, and I think that's it's really cute in the purple. So we'll continue working on this tomorrow and for the rest of the week. And again, tomorrow we will be doing that demo on French knots, like how to do the French knot and the 3 things you might be doing wrong if you are struggling with the French knot. I'll go through those 3 things, and feel free to ask your questions along the way. And yeah, I think that'll be fun. I love doing that demo. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And have a lovely evening. Good night.